All right, we have a couple more things to do detail-wise that are separate from the materials and graphic settings. We need some beams that follow this grid in three different directions. If you had to move your column in order to do this wrap, you just want to come from the center of your column. So if you come to your structure tab, it's right next to architecture, and you click beam, it should default to this W12 by 26. You want to make sure, we've been doing a lot of stuff with railings. Make sure that you're not still on one of the railings and that you're on level 2 as your work plane. As long as those are good, you can just come in. I'm going to snap to the center and you'll see it won't actually cut through the column. Revit's smart enough to know that it's going to be on the edge of the column. So I'm just coming straight up, coming straight over until I hit the opening of the floor there, and straight down until I hit the opening of the floor here. Alright, so those are the only three we're going to model. In the building, there's actually one that runs under here, runs along the whole edge of this opening. We're just going to do these three. So we'll take a look in the 3D view, and great. If for some reason yours aren't lining up, we'll take a look at it on a case-by-case basis. But these appear to be roughly in the right shape. They're cutting into the floor because of the angle. That's all right. We're not going to see that in our presentation. All right, so I've got that. Now we need that bench down below, that wooden bench. And if you look here, we're not going to pay attention to this because we don't know how wide we made this, but we are going to pay attention to having this 3-inch overhang. Unfortunately, the method we're going to use is not going to allow us to do this bevel because we can only use 2 levels. We're going to use it for this to taper that, but we're just going to have this be a flat rectangle. So you can see we're 3 inches beyond here, and then for this backrest, we've got a 6-inch base, and then at the top, it's hard to see, but at the top it's only 4 inches. So we're going to use a new tool we haven't used yet with the component model in place, just the blend, and you'll see that in just a second. So first, I know in order to do this, I need to make some levels, or one I should say. So I'm going to go back to my section 1, and the part we sit on I'm going to make 2 inches, and the other one was 18 inches high or 16 inches high. Let me double check that. That was 18. Alright, so I need to make a level that's 20 inches above. So I'm just going to click on this. First, again, I got all this overlapping. I'm going to change my graphic scale so I can see things. And I'm going to take this level 14, and I'm going to copy it up. So I'm going to copy it up 20 inches. And instead of leaving it as level 13, I'm going to double click and call it bench top. Alright, great. Now I'm going to go into my level 1 stair crop. I've hidden that picture just because we have all our geometry now. It's not really helping me. So if you noticed in the picture, the actual part you sit on starts here, and then the backrest starts a little further back. So I'm going to make a few model lines so that I can better understand. And I'm going to set the reference plane to level 14 inches because that's this top stair. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to say this is the edge of our bench. And then I'm going to come in here and say this is where the backrest starts. All the rest of it we already have, so I don't need to worry too much about it. So now I can do a component, model in place. I'm going to call this casework. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to say this first one's an extrusion. Again, this blend is nice, but you can only do 2 levels with it. We can't create 3 we need for that tapered edge. So I'm going to say extrusion. I'm going to make it 2 inches thick. And I'm going to make it out of birch wood. So hopefully you should still have birch in yours. I didn't add anything to this. Where'd it go? Oh, help if I spelled it properly. There we go, wood birch. Click OK. And now I'm already on level 14 inches. I've already set it to here. I can go to pick line. First, I'm going to go with the lines I know exist. And we'll have to use trim a little bit. And now, again, we have a 3-inch offset here. So I'm going to change this to 3 inches. And I want to make sure we're going past. That's it for the profile other than trimming. So now I just want to click the parts we're keeping. Again, we have a little extra bit here. And down here we got a lot to trim. So here, well, not a lot, it's 2, but the line was very long. So now when I click OK, we should get a nice birch bench. Let me come into here, I'll finish it. I'll switch to realistic. Yeah. So that part's pretty easy. The next one is a new tool. Again, we're going to use pick lines for a lot of it, but we're going to have to be careful with the levels we set. So I'm going to go back into my section level 1 stair crop. I'm going to do another architecture component, model in place. It's going to be another casework. This time we're going to say it's a blend. And I am going to say the work plane, I'm going to say set. I'm going to pick a plane. I'm just going to pick the top of this casework. And so now it knows we're 2 inches above. I can go to pick line, and again I can pick these existing edges. And I don't, oh yeah, okay, good. Now I can pick the edge of the casework. Alright, so now, well, I'll go ahead and trim this while I'm here. I'll come back to pick line, and now that base is 6 inches. So I'm going to do an offset of 6 inches. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to make sure it's on this side of it. Should automatically trim there. Now I've got to trim this part and here. So this is our base. Now, if I keep going, it's going to be on top of each other. I have to click this edit top now. So I'm going to switch over. We did our base. We're going to edit the top. Now I'm going to change this work plane. I'm going to set it to be bench top. Click OK. I'm going to use pick lines again. Pick this edge, but I'm going to try and I hit tab, maybe. Yeah, okay, great. Now I have this bit. So use tab whenever you can to shorten the line you're picking and give yourself less trim later. There's a lot of clicking that time. All right, so now the top of it is a 4-inch across. So I'm going to set an offset to 4 inches. And make sure I'm on this side of it. I need to do some trimming. I'm clicking only the parts I want to keep. Now you can see here it's got no category again. I want to come back in. I'm going to pick that birch, say OK. And I'll click OK. And if I come into my 3D view, and I picked the wrong line. That's alright, I'm going to edit this in a minute. Actually, I'll edit it now. You can see it's here. It's got the wood. It's thinner at the top than it is at the bottom. But I need to come in. I need to edit place. Click here, and I first need to edit base because I started it too far in. So all I need to do is say move this line straight back here. It should take the other two lines with it. And now I'm going to edit the top. Same thing. I'm going to click this line. I'm going to move it. I'm going to come right along this edge. And now it's starting where it's supposed to. So even if you make a mistake, rather than starting from scratch, you can edit these things. And now let's see. Yeah, I still have my main one here. If I come to my 3D stair crop, this is more like what we actually have. We have a bench you can sit on all the way up to here, and we have a backrest starting here. Alright, I have another video about all the materials and making this wall tangerine and making this red, making this wall wood. But that's it for the actual modeling stuff.